What's up, guys? Alright, so let me explain to y'all what went on in the last video. Well, I was putting the pistons in, and I don't know if you can see that over there by the book, but yeah, screw this zoom. The zoom on this RX100 sucks, but which is why I don't use it. But those right there are the old piston rings that I was trying to get out to put new piston rings in, and they were getting stuck. Let me see if I can show you. Like, you see how there's that? Jesus, the focus sucks too. This is why I don't use this camera. Look how long it takes to focus. You see that? You see how there's a black and then there's not black and there's black again. That's what's left of a piston ring that I was trying to take out. So on those three pistons, which literally are the only three pistons that's left, they are stuck. And it's the same piston ring on each piston. So that held me up all day. And when I say all day, I mean all day. It was frustrating. Very, 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 very frustrating. But today, all that's coming out. It is coming out. That's it. Because I should have been done yesterday in like 3 hours. Should have been a one video thing and been done with it. But now it's going to be 2, maybe 3, it could be 4. So let me show y'all what I got done so far. But alright, I've got some of the pistons in. The left side of the block, bank 1, that's all done. Well, hey, you know what? I take that back. I'm missing one piston on that side. I've got 2 here, and I've got 2 there, and I've got 1 there. To make it easier to put the piston in, you should probably spray the piston rings and these cylinders down with WD-40. If you don't have that, you can use some break-in lube. You can use PB Blaster. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can use it. You can use some ATF. Or automatic trans fluid. You can use some of that. You can use some oil. Anything that would make it a easier transition from outside of the block to inside of the block. Let's see. When it comes to putting the pistons in and the connecting rods, make sure that you have ample room to grab the bearing if you put the bearing in the connecting rod before you put the connecting rod through the block. Once you start tapping it in with the hammer, which you see there, put the piston ring compressor on there, use the bottom of the hammer to tap it in. That is enough to knock the bearing out. Even if it's in there tight, it'll still fall out. Especially when it hits the crank journal, it'll tend to stick. If you put assembly lube on it like you're supposed to, it'll tend to stick, and the piston rod is actually moving, so it'll get stuck to the crank. Make sure you have room to stick your hand in there and push the bearing back. Make sure you torque them down. Everything on this bottom end is torqued. There is no finger tight and then hand tight and tight enough. No, everything is torqued. Even the flywheel is torqued. The main rear seal, the rear main seal is torqued. The side cap bolts, as you see there, those are torqued. Everything's gonna be torqued. Even the oil pan bolts, those are gonna be torqued. Which I still have the cam, sprocket, pistons, lifters, heads, and the timing set, which is over here. I'm going to use the oil pump that I used from the last video. I'm going to use my 180 thermostat with the pickup tube. That timing plate, which, as y'all remember, that's brand new. I'll be using my old crank sensor, my old oil pressure sensor, and coolant temp sensors. All my old bolts. That's a different sprocket for the crank. I'm using that. It looks pretty, so I'm gonna use it. Opposed to using the old one that's on there now, which looks even better, but it's bent. As you guys remember, it's bent. So I'm gonna use that one. and put it on. But I got my head gaskets in there. I got my push rods, and my shorty wires are in there. This is my mount. Well, it is my mount, but it needs to be replaced. I will replace that in the future video, so stay tuned for that one. What else? 3-jar puller, paint, oil filter, brand new. Valve cover bolts. What else? MDS solenoids. Oh yeah, speaking of those, if you ever take your block to the machine shop to get cleaned out, honed, bored, whatever, you will not be able to reuse your MDS solenoids. You will have to buy new ones, and this is why. This is what's left of the MDS solenoid. This is the connector that you guys have seen in the last video. I mean, in a previous video. This is the solenoid. It sits like that. Into the solenoid like that. Solenoid connector. There's a thick black, I guess you would say, part. I'm not even sure what to call it. There's an assembly down here that pokes down into the cylinders. It's activated by oil pressure. Of course, if some of you guys don't know what MDS is a multiple displacement system, but it turns off 4 out of the 8 cylinders. Makes it sound like crap. This usually activates itself when you sit there at like maybe 30 miles an hour for a certain amount of time, 31. You sit there long enough, it'll kick off 4 cylinders. Anyway, so this sits like this. This little lock here actually sits under it like that, on the top of the block. Which, oh yeah, I can show you this one over here. Hopefully the camera shows it. I hate this camera so much. You see how there is this MDS solenoid here? Well, you really can't get those out without breaking them down. There are little tricks that people do to get those out. I just couldn't get them out. Not to mention, my MDS has already been turned off, so there's really no need for me to have them there. What I replaced them with was these block plugs right here. I ordered a set from the Dodge dealership. They were about 70 bucks. If you need a set, you can call and ask for a Dodge Ram, 1500, 2500. Make sure you order for an 03 or an 04, so that way they know they can find them. Or Challenger, because they don't have MDS. But that is where we're at right now. Sorry for the long intro, but I had to explain to y'all what exactly was going on. So this block will be done today. It will be ready to drop in the car, everything included. So let's get it. Alright, well, as you can see, I've got every piston in the block. I even wrote a little message. How you like that? But the pistons are in. I use new piston rings. I replaced all the rest of them. Got new bearings, new main bearings, rod bearings, rod bolts, everything. Cam bearings, everything like that. Still gotta go get the plugs from the dealership. Haven't done that yet. I'll probably be doing it between today and tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, since they close a little earlier than I would be done with all of this. Next will be the cam, the timing set, the pump, and then I'll flip it back over. I'll put the oil pan, the gasket I'll pull out on the bottom, put the timing cover on, and that'll be it until, well, no, I'm thinking about put the heads on, but given how little space I already have putting the heads in by themselves, I kind of don't want to, but I really don't want to deal with the right side of the car. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so let's say you have 5.7 timing set or 6.1 timing set, and it looks like this. It looks like complete garbage. The thing is just covered in old oil, dirt, soot, whatever, right? That's what you do to get it to look brand new. Wire wheel, drill, and you just and that'll clean off the sides. Then it looks like that. Same goes for the back. There's the back. Now, of course, you could always just soak it in some seafoam, some, Marvel's Mystery Oil, some cleaner, or whatever it is you want to clean it with, and wipe it off and be okay with it. I just took an extra step to do it like this, and it came out pretty nicely. Yeah, I know I can't get in between the cracks there, but that's okay. I'm gonna wipe it off with this towel, then wipe it off with a really clean rag, get these rocks and dirt and debris out of here before I put it in the engine. But that is how you clean off a timing gear sprocket for a 5.7 or 6.1.
$1,000 for that shit.
I ain't paying nothing for no Acura. You got me messed up.
I know 60 grand. I got it 60 grand. I'm buying a 5 Series.
I'm not even buying a used Acura. That's dead. I don't know where the
You get whatever you want. Just don't buy it for it. If you buy it for it, I'll fix it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna fix it.
But let's see if they got the. Since we're over here in the heavy duty section, see if they got the leveler somewhere. I don't know where it is. Oh well, it's not gonna be over there.
That's brake lights.
Well, that. But I mean, like stuff.
I need 330 seconds.
Just saw those. Oh, I thought I did.